with the COVID-19 here to stay for a long period of time, it is imperative for us to prepare ourselves to coexist with the SARS-CoV-2, the virus which is responsible for COVID-19. As I speak to you at this moment, India is presently in phase 3 of the lockdown. About 62,000 people have been diagnosed to be suffering from COVID-19. We nearly have about 2,000 deaths. But the most important part for us to remember is that this virus is not going to go away very soon. And so COVID is here to stay for quite some time in the future. There will be sudden increase in the number of cases diagnosed. It'll again come down, and after some point of time, it may again rise. There may be relaxation of lockdowns. There may be again reinforcement of lockdowns. These are the various ways the government will try to tackle the problem of COVID-19 in India. Rather, not only in India, this may be a trend globally. And treatment again, we don't have a definitive treatment, we do not have a definitive medicine, and the vaccine is in the initial trial phases, and we have no idea how long it is going to take for the vaccine to be declared as an effective one. And after the vaccine comes the issue of availability and affordability. If in the case of India, with a population of 1.53 billion, and if all of us need to be vaccinated, it will take a decade. Therefore, vaccination again may not be the best way out for India, though no one can deny the importance of vaccine in treating pandemics. The bottom line being that COVID has affected all aspects of our lives, and that it is going to stay for quite some time. It is imperative for us to prepare ourselves in a world where COVID-19 is a reality. Coming to the issue of child protection, children have always been vulnerable, and because the very nature of COVID-19 pandemic, wherein it has affected all aspects of our life, our social life, economic life, our livelihoods. In fact, the very way we eat, stay in our house, and relate with our near and dear ones have also been modified because of COVID-19. And this change, you never know, may be a permanent change, given the fact that if this COVID-19 stays for a longer period of time, we'll be having no other way but to adopt the measures of social distancing which we have been asked to adopt and which, in reality, if implemented stringently, has a far reaching impact. At this point of time, it may be pertinent to mention that social distancing has been misinterpreted. Social distancing, in the true sense, cannot be enforced from outside. It is something which has to come from within. The outside environment only facilitates the implementation of social distancing. Social distancing has many components, and one of the component only is this 1 meter or 2 meter gap between two individuals that we are talking about. Social distancing would also mean reducing to a great extent our physical social interaction with the outside world, unless and until it is absolutely necessary. Interaction in the physical manner should be avoided. This is something which is very new to us. Even handshakes, which are part of social etiquettes, have to be done away with. This handshake has to be replaced with a namaskar or a adab. All this to ensure that the virus doesn't transmit from one person to another. Social gatherings have to be curtailed. More than physical interaction, there has to be long distance interaction, whether it is telephone, whether it is Skype, whether it is video conferencing. The way we had attended birthdays and wedding anniversaries and attended to cremations and funerals and to the feast following the demise of a person, all these have to be relooked at. This is the call of times. And if we have to survive this pandemic of COVID-19, this is the minimum we should be doing. Having said that, let us now devote some time to the various child protection issues for which we need to be prepared. I'm not talking about the distant future. I'm talking about immediately or just prior to the lifting of lockdown. We never know when the lockdown will be lifted totally. But as I had mentioned earlier, this lockdown will be an on and off phenomenon given how the disease behaves. Lockdown may be relaxed and it may again be reinforced, again be implemented. And this is going to be the order of the day for quite some time. Therefore, we need to be prepared how we are going to deal with it. Just with the relaxation of lockdown and immediately post lockdown, there are reasons to believe that because of socio-economic conditions of families and also because of this long period of staying in a closed environment and also because of the excessive use of the cyberspace, be it in terms of internet use or the mobile use, children have become vulnerable. Children always were vulnerable, but compounded with the newfound poverty, the newfound access to cyberspace, to the mobile, to the internet, and the change of behavior and mindset, primarily because children are being confined to their premises. Most of them, their thinking has definitely changed. And they may do something which may not be very useful for them, if not harmful. There may be people who may take advantage of these vulnerabilities and abuse these children. There are reasons to believe that child labor, child marriage, elopement, which may be standard loans or may be linked with child trafficking, physical abuse, both at home, in the community, and in the place where education is imparted, be it the formal school or be it in the tuition homes, tutorial homes, may arise. The last two issues I think I need to re-emphasize that the children have long lost touch with the formal school system, and as such, they may not find going to school or tutorial homes a very good alternative, and therefore may throw tantrums in the school. The teachers are already stressed. COVID has spared no one. There is a undercurrent of irritation amongst everyone. And when these teachers find the children being inattentive, their irritation goes up. They may indulge in verbal or physical abuse of the student. On one hand, we need to understand that this is because of the impact of COVID in the whole psyche of an individual. And on the other hand, we need to be mindful of the fact that no sort of violence, particularly violence against children, can be tolerated. As we said, in the pre-COVID phases, any violence against children has to be dealt with zero tolerance. There cannot be an excuse. The way the cyberspace has been thrown open to children, particularly those going to schools, so as to transact their academic lessons, is a matter of concern. While there was no other alternative to transact these lessons, it remains a grim reality that these children, at least quite a number of them, if not all, have misused the internet. There has been a lot of instances where the use of child pornography, not only by adults but by children, have increased. There have been instances where there has been bullying in the cyberspace in the past few weeks. It has increased. Whenever you wish to do something worthwhile, we need to be mindful of the fact that there is sure to be some backlash. And I think both the goods and the bads go together, and the results of both will show at some point of time. There have been instances of child sexual abuse during this lockdown period all across the country. There has been instances of rapes and murders of children across the country. There are instances of hunger, of deprivation, of food, of shelter cannot be overlooked. And this will not go away within a week or a month. It will take months, if not years, for things to normalize. And we need to be mindful of this. We need to prepare our understandings based on these realities. These are challenging times, and we all need to gear ourselves to face this reality. We need to take cautious steps. We need to review our steps every other week and keep focused on the safety and security of our children.